Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, can anyone do a short kirtan?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, yes.
श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Thank you,
हरे
Mataji.
कृष्ण. Thank you, Mataji.
Guest speaker has joined the call just now. Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dandavat pranams, Prabhu.
Pranams to all of you.
We welcome you to today's Bhagavatam session, and I'll give a brief introduction about you, Prabhu.
Yes.
Let us welcome His Divine Grace, Rameshwar Kanedas Prabhu. He is currently working in Sharjah as a CEO. He is mechanical engineer by profession, and he joined ISKCON in 2005 and took his initiation in 2009. And he took his second initiation in 2022. Currently, he is in Siva Sangan Yatra leader. He gives lectures both online and offline in Kerala, Dubai, Sharjah, etc. And he is currently pursuing Bhakti Vaibhava 2022 batch from Mayapur Institute. So let us welcome our Prabhu. Over to you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your association.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalagaya Sakyurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaga Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadadi Swapadandigam Vandegam Shri Gurum Shri Yuda Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijanasagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak the Samambonam Srimad Bhagavatam, primarily for my own purification. And if it helps others, it's a concomitant factor. It's a great pleasure and honor for me. Nigamagalpadaror phalam sukamukadamrda drava samyudam vibhada bhagavatam rasamalayam mugaragu rasiga bhuvi bhagugaha Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam daivim saraswatim vyasam tado jayamudirayet shrunvadam swakada krishna punyashravana kirtanaha hridayandasto hi abhadrani vidunodi sugutsadam नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, I will read first sloka, then you can assign someone to read the translation purport, Mataji.
Yes.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, Canto 3, chapter 14, verse number 26. Am I correct, Mataji? Yeah, verse number 26.
Yes, Prabhu. You want me to share the screen, Prabhu? Or,
No, Mataji. I already have it. Okay.
yes.
Nayasya lokes. If that is helps for the others to read, you can share, Mataji. No issues.
Yes, Prabhu, I will do it.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu, you can start.
Yes, Mataji. Verse number 26. Nayasya loke swajana paro va natyadrudo nato kaschid vigadya vayam vritair yacharana pavidham asasmage jambuda bhukta bhogam. Someone can read translation and purport.
Anasui Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva regards no one as his relative, and there is no one who is not connected with him. He does not regard anyone as very favorable or abominable. We respectably worship the remnants of his footsteps, and we owe to accept what is rejected by him. Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you.
Vasudha Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Purport Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Kashyapa informed his wife that just because Lord Shiva happened to be his brother-in-law, that should not encourage her in her offense towards him. Kashyapa warned her that actually Lord Shiva is not connected with anyone, nor is anyone his enemy. Since he is one of the three controllers of the universal affairs, he is equal to everyone. His greatness is incomparable because he is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said that among all the devotees of the Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva is the greatest. Thus, the remnants of foodstuffs left by him are accepted by other devotees as Mahaprasada or great spiritual foodstuff. The remnants of foodstuffs offered to Lord Krishna are called Prasada. But when the same Prasada is eaten by a great devotee like Lord Shiva, it is called Mahaprasada. Lord Shiva is so great that he does not care for the material prosperity for which every one of us is so eager. Parvati, who is the powerful material nature personified, is under his full control as his wife. Yet he does not use her even to build a residential house. He prefers to remain without shelter, and his great wife also agrees to live with him humbly. People in general worship goddesses Durga, the wife of Lord Shiva, for material prosperity, but Lord Shiva engages her in his service without material desire. He simply advises his great wife that of all kinds of worship, the worship of Vishnu is the highest and the greater than, that is the worship of a great devotee or anything in relation with Vishnu. Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. We'll go to the next verse, verse number 27. Yasya navadi achiritam manisino grahanti avidya padalam bibitsavaha nirasya sami atisyo api yat swayam pishachacharyam ajarat gati satam.
Sudha Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Although no one in the material world is equal to or greater than Lord Shiva, and although his unimpeachable character is followed by great souls to dismantle the mass of nescience, he nevertheless remains as if a devil to give salvation to all devotees of the Lord.
Anita Mataji, we'll give chance to Anita
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva's uncivilized, devilish characteristics are never abominable because he teaches the sincere devotees of the Lord how to practice detachment from material enjoyment. He is called Mahadeva, or the greatest of all demigods, and no one is equal to or greater than him in the material world. He is almost equal with Lord Vishnu. Although he always associates with Maya, Durga, he is above the reactionary stage of the three modes of material nature, and although he is in charge of devilish characters in the mode of ignorance, he is not affected by such association. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we'll go to next verse, 28. Asantiyasya charidam hi durbaha swatam radasi avidushum samhidam yairvastemali abaram anulepanai swabhojanam swatmada yopalalitam.
Prashanti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Unfortunate, foolish persons, not knowing that he is engaged in his own self, laugh at him. Such foolish persons engage in maintaining the body, which is eatable by dogs, with dresses, ornaments, garlands, and ornaments. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Shanti Mataji, you can read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva never accepts any luxurious dress, garland, ornament, or ointment. But those who are addicted to the decoration of the body, which is finally eatable by dogs, very luxuriously maintain it as the self. Such persons do not understand Lord Shiva, but they approach him for luxurious material comforts. There are two kinds of devotees of Lord Shiva. One class is the gross materialist seeking only bodily comforts from Lord Shiva, and the other class desires to become one with him. They are mostly impersonalists and prefer to chant Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiva, or after liberation, I shall become one with Lord Shiva. In other words, the karmis and jnanis are generally devotees of Lord Shiva, but they do not properly understand his real purpose in life. Sometimes so-called devotees of Lord Shiva imitate him in using poisonous intoxicants. Lord Shiva once swallowed an ocean of poison and thus his throat became blue.
The imitation Shivas try to follow him by indulging in poisons, and thus they are ruined. The real purpose of Lord Shiva is to serve the soul of the soul, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna. He desires that all luxurious articles such as nice garments, garlands, ornaments, and cosmetics be given to Lord Krishna only because Krishna is the real enjoyer. He refuses to accept such luxurious items himself because they are only meant for Krishna. However, since they do not know this purpose of Lord Shiva, foolish persons of Lord Shiva, foolish persons either laugh at him or profitlessly try to intimate him. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Go to next verse, madam. Verse number 29. Brahmadyo yatkradase dufala yatkaranam vishwam idam cha maya ajñakariyasyo pisachacharya aho vibunam charitam vidambanam.
Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Prabhuji. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Demigods like Brahma also follow the religious rites observed by him. He is the controller of the material energy, which causes the creation of the material world. He is great, and therefore his devilish characteristics are simply imitation. Hare Krishna.
Archana Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva is the husband of Durga, the controller of material energy. Durga is personified material energy, and Lord Shiva, being her husband, is the controller of the material energy. He is also the incarnation of the mode of ignorance and one of the three deities representing the Supreme Lord. As his representative, Lord Shiva is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is very great, and his renunciation of all material enjoyment is an ideal example of how one should be materially unattached. One should therefore follow in his footsteps and be unattached to matter, not imitate his uncommon acts like drinking poison. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madi. So we'll go to the last version of today's discussion. Maitreya Uvacha Sayavam Samvidha Bhartra Manmada Vanmida Indriya Jagra Vaso Brahma Rishir Vrishali Vagatha Trapa.
Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Maitri said, Diti was thus informed by her husband, but she was pressed by Cupid for sexual satisfaction. She caught hold of the clothing of the great Brahmana sage, just like a shameless public prostitute. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Shobha Mataji, you can read the purport.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji and Prabhuji, Haribol Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport to Srila Prabhupada. Difference between a married wife and a public prostitute is that one is restrained in sex life by the rules and regulation of the scriptures, whereas the other is unrestricted in sex life and is conducted solely by the strong sex urge. Although very enlightened, Kashyapa, the great sage, becomes a victim of his prostitute wife because such is the strong force of material energy, revolt and earth.
Hare Krishna. So that ends today's discussion, Mataji. The verses.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Then you can stop sharing, Mataji. So we are in Canto 3, Chapter 14, chapter entitled Pregnancy of the Day in the Evening. And Vidra, we are, as we know, the Srimad Bhagavatam, or per se, our scriptures are mostly of question and answers. Here, Vidra is being answered by Rishi Maitreya about various aspects of Manvantras and all that. Here is Vidura is asking a beautiful question in the verse number 3. What was the reason, O Brahmana, for the fight between the demon king and the Lord Boar? And he is asking the reason about the Raga. Lord, while the Lord was lifting the earth and his pastime. This, to answer to these questions, he is answering. And in verse number 13 and 14, it's mentioned about the Daksha asked her daughters for their choice of preferable husband, preference of husband, and then they choose the 13 of the daughters choose to Kashyapa as their husband, and the Aditi and Diti, and it goes on. So here the Diti's historical events are being explained. Verse number 15 onwards, it says that Diti, entangled in or obsessed with her desire, as we all know, these are all the supreme plan of the Lord to describe the whole thing, and it's all in under his purview. So she's showing her desire, and later verses, Kashyapa Muni is explaining the consequences of happening this union in the twilight. So that's not the appropriate time for the union. So, and in the verses of today's discussion, in the evening hours, Lord Shiva travels followed by his ghost, his kind of followers who were following him, because the ghost, they don't have body, and Lord Shiva's glorification is very widely explained in these verses. His nature is amazing. So he is giving shelter even to the ghosts. But he is in charge of this the universal affairs, but still he is not connected with anyone. The first two words purport Prabhupada explained very brilliantly about the Shiva's position, clarifying all our doubts. And he is not enemy to anyone. That's a thing. So the dealing, when we deal with the Vaishnavas, we should be very, very careful. Since he is one of the control of the universal affairs, he is equal to everyone. Prabhupada gives very clearly. And what is his position as a devotee? It is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, 16th verse, when the ultimate supreme of every aspect is given. It is this verse explains the position of Shambhu, the Lord Shiva. Nimnaganam yada Ganga, Devanam achyudo yada, Vaishnavanam yado Sambhu, Purananam idam tada. Puranam means Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate of all scriptures, and Achyuta is the supreme personality of Godhead, and of the all holy rivers, Ganga is the supreme. So here it is mentioned Vaishnavanam yado Sambhu. He is the supreme. No one is considered such an highlighted and celebrated Vaishnava as him. But though he is in such a high elevated position, Prabhupada explains, he is not care for material prosperity, for which everyone entangled in this material world for anxious for to get. Mother Durga, being wife of Shiva, gives all kinds of benedictions to people, but Lord Shiva is the controller of Lord Durga herself. But still he is aloof and detached from this all material desires. This is a very unique nature of Lord Shiva. Even his proper clothing, his place of dwelling, if you see either in Kailash or in the crematoriums, and his bhushan are the dusts of crematorium, such a detached person. But Prabhupada explains one cannot simply imitate him. But he advises Durga that among all kinds of worship, Vishnu worship is the supreme. And it continues. The first class worship is Lord Vishnu, Aradhanam Param. This is the highest of all worshipping. That's why he says, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadyanam Aradhanam. See, here it goes one step further. This verse from Padma Puran, it's again recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita 11.31. Vishnu worship is the best, and better than Vishnu worship is worshipping his devotees. This is a beauty of a parampara, and this is a very safe. Why? Because if we seek the shelter of the Param Vaishnavas, who is here, it says Vishnu, devotees of the worshipping of the devotees is above worshipping of the Lord Vishnu himself. Why? When we worship the Lord himself, there is every possibility of falling down. But if we take the shelter of the pure Vaishnavas, under their protection and guidance, will easily accessible. We get accessibility to the Supreme Lord. Why we keep our Guru Parampara in our altar? We don't have any providence and purity to give our offering to Supreme Lord directly. So if we go, if we offer, when we offer, the Guru Parampara is there, we have a direct connection with our spiritual master. The spiritual master will mercifully accept our offerings, and he will take to his Guru, and then it goes on. When Srila Prabhupada was there, when he was sitting, the Guru Puja was going on, some Advaita philosophers were sitting, Guru was sitting, and he was looking at what these people are doing. And then while he was sitting on his Vyasasana, the devotees were doing Guru Puja. At the same time, he also singing the same song. And after the puja, this Mayavadi sannyasi, he went to ask Guru Prabhupada, they were glorifying you, we can understand the words, but what you were singing, we could not hear what you were singing. I'm also repeating the same, glorifying my Supreme, my Guru, my spiritual master. In turn, my spiritual master take it to other levels. So it is very easy and safe to take shelter of the Vaishnavas. Here, in the next verse, Lord Shiva's character furthermore explained. Lord Shiva's uncivilized, devilish characteristics are never abominable. So here what? We cannot imitate what Shiva is doing. The best way of using all our opulences is keeping Krishna is center and using whatever we have in the service of Krishna. So in that way, whatever we have, all our dravyam becomes purified. And that is Yukta Vairagya. Mahaprabhu explains very beautifully in Chaitanya's, in Sanatana Siksha in Chaitanya Charitamrita about this. So the Lord Shiva is taking his own way of doing it. He is detached from all material enjoyment. He is called Mahadeva, or the greatest of all demigods. And no one is equal to or greater than him in this material world. We have to see that the last purport is saying that in this material world, no one is greater there or equal to him. Even the Lord Brahma, he himself respects and worships Lord Shiva. That is almost equal to, Prabhupada is saying, he is almost equal to Vishnu. But he is not equal to Vishnu. In Bhakti Rasamrita Chandu, the 64 characters of the Lord is explained. In that, every Jivas and Vishnus and Shivas, everything is, their status is very clearly explained. Shiva Tattva has 54 qualities or attributes to 84.375% of the Lord Krishna. So it's 84% of Krishna. And Jiva Tattva has 50 qualities of Lord Krishna. So it comprises 78% of the Krishna's qualities. Vishnu has 60 qualities. Only 4 from Vishnu, how Krishna is supreme. only through 4 lost qualities, which none of this Jiva Tattva or Shiva Tattva or Vishnu Tattva has it. What are they? Rupa Matiri, Venu Matiri, Prema Matiri, and Leela Matiri. These are all very, very special attributes to Lord Krishna only. So that is why Krishna is standing out on all other Vishnu Tattvas. Although here, Prabhupada says, although he is always associates with Maya, Durga, his good wife, is above the reactionary stages of 3 modes of material nature. He is inside modes of material nature, but he is above them. This is the unique nature of Lord Shiva. Although he is in the charge of devilish characters of the modes of material nature, he is not affected by such association. These are all the glorifications about the Lords, and it is very beautifully explained here. But about the devotees of the Lord Shiva, there are 2 kinds. Prabhupada explains them. One class is gross materialist, seeking only bodily comforts from the Lord Shiva. And you know that Lord Shiva is being glorified as Ashutosh. Ashu means immediately, very easily pleasable. And he is, and since then, he doesn't care which is going to be the perpetual, which is going to give the perpetual happiness to his devotees. He is simply giving only. So Prabhupada clarifies them or categorizes them as karmis and jnanis. Jnanis about one always anchoring to become Lord Shiva or oneness with the Supreme. That is their less understanding, which is refuted in all Prabhupada's books. Again, further, difference between the married wife and the prostitution is a prostitute, which is explained how even though one is becoming, one being a wife, if one restrained from the scriptural injections, and then sex life is go out of regulations, and the scriptures condemns that as is the prostitution. This is what Didi is doing here, and that act is being compared to the prostitution. Such a strong message by the scriptures. So the Rudra's messages always directs us to the supreme worship of the Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. It is very beautifully explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in the Rudra Gita, in the form of Rudra Gita. It says Supreme Lord himself glorifies the Rudra Gita. He says, those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires, attaining good intelligence. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.10. Lord Vishnu himself is glorifying. But the Lord, what is about this Rudra Gita? Lord Shiva is speaking to Prachetas, the son of Prachina Bargis. Just execute your kingly duties with a pure heart and chant the prayers I have recited, fixing your mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. That will bring all good fortunes to you. What else we need? So Lord Shiva himself giving the go ahead and directions towards the worship of the Lord Vishnu. These verses coming in for 4th canto, 24th chapter, 33rd verse to 74th verse. So we have to, all these verses are explaining how the Lord Shiva, in his position as a top class devotee, glorifies, and at the same time he is connected with modes of material nature without being affected. This is a beautiful and unique nature of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is giving this to everyone, irrespective of the nature of his disciples. So that is the beauty. We can worship Lord Vishnu, Krishna, in whatever our capacity, whatever our facility, whatever we have. But Lord does not see in what position, what capacity we are worshipping. He wants only our what is our inner feel. In Chaitanya Bhagavatam, in the Adi Kanda, chapter 11, there is a beautiful verse. Murko vadadi Vishnaya, Dhiro vadadi Vishnave, Ubadhyastu samam punyam, bhavagrahi janardana. So, what he is saying? The Lord is only cares about what mood, what sentiment, what we have in worshipping. Rest, our chanting is inappropriate. That doesn't mean we need to chant properly, but that will give a good effect. But if we are in a full surrendered and submissive state of worshipping, the Lord sees our mood only. For instance, if we have the morning we wake up 4:30, 3 o'clock like that, and we finish our rounds at 5:36, hang our chanting, and the whole day, if we are not in Krishna conscious, Krishna sees our conscious more than what we act upon. But here he says, Bhavagrahi Janardana. So this is what all Shiva's preaching and all his devotees are in constant prayer with Lord Vishnu. Srila Prabhupada, being the top class devotee, the Jagat Guru, still he was always in the prayer mode. One day, Srila Prabhupada was coming in the airport. The devotees were falling down like a danda to pray obeisances, seeing that the whole airport atmosphere and even the devotees, secretaries, they were really amazed by seeing the love for Prabhupada the devotees had. And then the secretary, one of his secretary was really amazed, and he was looking at Prabhupada, and Prabhupada looked at him and said, "What are you looking at?" No, Prabhupada, I'm really amazed by the love of the devotees have on you. And they said, "You know why? Because I conquered lust. That is why they see the purity in me, and then they do this one." And the same day class, Prabhupada reiterated about the conquering of the lust, and he said, "I already conquered lust." Then after a few minutes after the class, the altar opened, Prabhupada went, paid obeisance to the lordships, and he was in a prayerful mood, he was praying. And then the devotees asked again, "Prabhupada, we have a lot of things to ask to Prabhupada. You achieved everything. You, in a bhakti, you are saturated, but still you have something to ask. What you were asking, the lords?" And he said, "Please keep me away of all my lusty desires like this in this old age." So because the age is not a bar, any moment you can get attached to anything of this material. So I was praying to that. Then you said you are not affected by lusty desires, then why you have to pray to the Lord? And he said, I am out of this lusty desires because I am constantly praying to the Lord about this one. So this is the thing we have to take it. Here, Lord Shiva, irrespective of the nature of even the ghosts, he is preaching them. To the top class devotees like this Prachetas, everyone, whoever goes to the Lord Shiva has to read the Rudra Gita and take the shelter of Lord Vishnu. That's what he is saying. So the devotees, we should be very, very careful about in our dealing with Lord Shiva, who is the Param Vaishnava, and everything on his disposal for the benediction, for the benefit of all disciples who follow him. So we'll stop here, and if there is one or two questions, we can take up. Am I in right time, or do I have more time? I don't know.
You have 20 minutes more, Prabhuji.
Oh, is it? Okay. So,
Yes.
because I've been told 30 to 35, 40 minutes like that. So,
Till
okay.
10:30 we have, Prabhuji.
Oh, is it? Okay. So we'll stop another 10, 15 minutes. We'll stop and they will take 3 questions. Okay. So, in our dealing, we must know that everything happens on the Lord's will. We should not see that in a devotee disposal, we should always take the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Even whatever be the level, we should understand that only the Lord is acting through us, and we are just an instrument. An instrument of its own have no capacity to bring any music. If it goes to some wonderful musician, that instrument will have some value. Similarly, the devotees, we should give to that disposal of the Supreme Lord, and is completely submissive and surrender nature. We have to work. That's what here Lord Shiva explaining in his Rudra Gita, and his glorification is such. In Sundarakanda in Ramayana, when Lord the Hanuman, when he was in Lanka, he met Trijada, and she says that I had a dream and I saw that the whole Lanka was burnt to fire by the Vanaras. And he was really amazed hearing Hanuman said, this is not an instruction given by the Lord Ram. Then how this will happen? I'm not going to do that because Lord Rama did not give this instruction to me. He sent me only to find Sita, Mother Sita. So how come? But Trijada is really a pure devotee. And her dealings are really amazed, glorified in Ramayana. So, and he was thinking, and then when the Ravana ordered his soldiers to put fire his tail, and he ran around, and the whole Lanka was fire. And he said, how wonderfully the Supreme Lord making me an instrument to take another devotee's dream, which is, so all our actions are just an action, but the actor is behind. So the devotees, in any disposal, in any working, we should be very careful about our deal, that we should not get any position, even a tinge of a puffed up nature will spoil our bhakti. Bhakti, we have to be in a submissive mode. How to surrender? The bhakta means what? Bhakta means it's in a various levels. In this modern day and age, we are very busy with so many things. And if we ask everyone saying, I don't have time to join. See, many classes happening and shrinking these days because the material allurement and opportunity to do bhakti is also vibrant. So we should be very careful of how we consume. Vishnu Chakravarti Pad is saying how a devotee should behave. First, he should encourage himself to dedicate his time for Krishna. This is what Krishna is expecting. Time is 24 hours for everyone. We don't have, Amarendra Prabhu is saying, we always complained about these days we have so much of detachment. But there is no detachment, so much of distraction. There is no distraction. Our attachment, so many things, we call them as distraction. If we see what distracts us, then it is our attraction to that substance is the matter. So here we have to dedicate our time for Krishna. That is what Krishna initially expects from us. And when we dedicate our time, it's a good sign of our progress. And when we dedicate our time, and we must dedicate our ears for hearing the glorifications of the Lord, hearing the Rupa Guna and the glories of the Dham. So when we dedicate our ear, what happens? Then our watch, our words, our all becomes purified. So then we dedicate our throat and tongue to Krishna to glorify ourselves. So from time to ear to throat, now throat and tongue, we start glorifying. And then what happens? We have to do it. Until then, we may be doing it mechanically. And when we dedicate our mind, then it becomes little more advanced state. So with mind, if we start dedicating to Krishna, then our activities becomes pure. And finally, we take it to heart. Then we have all our personal relationship or our bhava becomes purified. So this is the gradual process of a devotee who follows a pure devotee will do. In this way, final perfection of this state is when then our mind, words, and actions all will in manasa, vacha, karmana will be towards bhakti. This is the gradual process of one attaining bhakti. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Path is saying. So in this modern age of life, we cannot actually, there is a common question comes, this Prachetas, where they didn't have any work other than worshipping or listening to the pure devotees. So Lord Shiva came and they could accept. How I can relate this in this day and age? This is a common question. Everybody is busy with so many things. No, we cannot run out. We cannot go in Himalayas and sit. We are in daily affairs. How we can relate this one? So a devotee gives a clue and a formula how we can differentiate of different dealings in modeling. So for instance, if we next month 22nd Ayodhya temple is being opened. This is a political news or whatever, spiritual news or whatever. We should be knowing all this also. A devotee cannot think that who is, I am least bothered about this material world. Who is the Home Minister of India? I don't have to know. No, we are in this material world. We are part of this. But we should not attach to it. But still, we should be having some knowledge about that. So we have to differentiate different dealings within this material world. That's how we can go. So this devotee is giving a beautiful description. A devotee should be politically alert. Means what is going around, we should be alert about it. But we should stop there. Not that I have to watch 24/7 news what happening around. We should be alert what happening around and socially sensitive. Socially sensitive devotee cannot say that tsunami killed 1.4 lakh people. So we should not say that their karma they left. No, we should go sensitively and deal it. We have to pray for them. We have to help them as much as possible. And it is not that I have to concern about my karma. No, we have to be very sensitive about the situation, about the happenings around, and we have to involve ourselves to help each other. Though we all are in our own individual yatra towards the supreme yatra, we must help each other. Otherwise, this movement is not required. Prabhupada's movement, the devotee should be very, very careful what we are responsible for Prabhupada. Am I pleasing Prabhupada in every moment? So Prabhupada will be very happy if we are sensitive about what happening around. So socially we must be very, very sensitive and culturally accommodative. Politically alert, socially sensitive, and culturally accommodative. See how beautifully the disciples of Srila Prabhupada accommodated to Vaishnava culture. The puri bhaji and roti sabji were completely alien for them, but they immediately, the Prabhupada gave us, this is the part of our culture. They become Vaishnava attire. Prabhupada, when we went to London, the reporters asked, before you, many sadhus came here, they started preaching, and finally they put the blazers, coat, shoot, and they started walking like Westerners. But you changed all British youths to your style. They are wearing these robes and this tilak, all that. How is this possible? Because so-called sadhus who came here to take something, but I came here to give something. These people, when they had value, they accepted and they changed. So this is the thing. So we should be always accommodative to become a devotee in the path of devotee from the guidance of Guru Parampara and the pure devotees. When we are politically alert, socially sensitive, and culturally accommodative, what is our role in spirituality? We should be observed. So the observed means we are 24/7. That is our business. Spiritually, we should be always observed, and then we should make our checklist that whatever I'm doing, is it going to please Krishna and the devotees? And in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 31st chapter, 19th verse, Narada to Prachetas again, they are giving beautiful words. It says, how we can please Krishna. That verse says, Dayaya sarva bhudeshu santushtya yena kenava sarvendro biyad shantiyasya upashantayasya tushyati asu janardana. By this way, by doing this, Dayaya sarva bhudeshu, this is a very large description. We being a devotee, sometimes we miss the message that we think that only devotees are really matters and nothing else is matters for me. No. We never know what is the connection of every jiva with Supreme. So we have to be very, when we see this, and we are all devotees, these people are abhaktas. You don't have to submiss and surrender to them, but we have to be very dayaya to them, compassionately we see them. Srila Prabhupada, once he was in America, I think in London, where he went for the Macmillan, it's in London, sorry, Macmillan, their publication about Bhagavad Gita, then he was asked to speak there. When he was coming back, the event was so, in short, the event is a big incident. The devotees were packed in the car. Prabhupada instructed them to bring nice prasadam for this Macmillan executives, and they were asking about many Western menu, and Prabhupada directed them, no, you have to make our very standard. Then from gulab jamun to puri sabji, everything they made. And while coming back, Prabhupada was crying in the car. So all the devotees were really upset. What happened? The program didn't go well, or this Macmillan executives, did they say anything bad or what? But nobody had guts to ask him, Prabhupada, what happened? The next day, Prabhupada was very happy. And then some devotees said, Prabhupada, yesterday when you were coming back, did the program go well? Yeah, you were there. They were very happy, and we had the nice kirtan, nice katha. So it was so nice. And Prabhupada, then while coming back, we were looking, you were crying. Simply the tears were rolling on your cheek. What happened? Did we commit any mistake? No, you were really good. You did your part nicely. And no. Then what was the reason for your crying? Oh, that. You didn't see that. Then what? While coming back, I was looking around the streets. People are walking in so much of stress, anxiety, and they don't know what is the purpose of having human form of life. And I'm in the old age, how I'm going to help them liberate from this state? And when I'm thinking that, only thing I can do is I simply cry for them. So the level of compassionate Prabhupada had for the conditioned souls. So we should be, if not to that level, that is the standard Prabhupada set for us. Whenever we deal with others, we should, how I can help them, simply by help them, bringing them to the lotus feet of the Lord. That can be the biggest service. Not that we do our sadhana perfect, and in this age itself we are going back home, back to God. Not that. That is there for sure. That is the primary thing. We have to keep our sadhana intact first, but we should be compassionate. This is what here Narada Maharshi is saying. Dayaya sarvabhudeshu. Santushtya yanakanava. Whatever be the situation, because our material condition is not at all a condition for our spiritual advance. One can be a rich person, one can be a poor, one can be in white body, one can be black body, one in a healthier body, one in a diseased condition, whatever. Educated, non-educated. These are our scriptures and our sadhus, our acharyas give this very beautifully, that these all not at all matter. We have to be content with what we have, and we have to completely surrender to the Supreme. In this condition, we can please Krishna very easily. This is what Krishna and his pure devotees explaining us. And then if we see in this new year, every time we new year comes, we always take some resolutions, and then next year we go for new resolution. What does it mean? The first week of January itself, we forgot about that resolution, what we got. Then we are going for our routine. And then Prabhupada, somebody asked about the resolution. Prabhupada said, what to have a resolution? You have a resolution intact with you. Every day we have to stick into our 4 regulative principles. And we have a lot of things as the resolution, which we have to carry on for the whole life, not on this one. So we were thinking about discussing about this matter. And we, in the footsteps of Lord Krishna and his pure devotees, we were discussing what can be the best resolution one can have in this new year. So we thought, always Prabhupada says, in this year or from here onwards, we have to think that Krishna conscious and associating with the Krishna's devotees is the prime business for me in this world. So my resolution will be, I will not compromise Krishna or his devotees association for any reason. And at the same time, I will compromise everything in this material world to get Krishna and his devotees association. This can be the best resolution we can have on this world. If we have that, and then we can introspect ourselves where we are, and with this principle, how we can. So if the devotee circle, if we closely monitor, about 10% of the devotees will be highly advanced. When I say that not sadhus are the temple presidents or the head of the yatras, no. If you see some of the closely monitor some of the devotees, their business only devotion and serving others, and they are highly elevated. They may not know even one single verse to discuss, or they cannot speak 5 minutes. But if you see the dealings, they are highly elevated. That we can see. If we have a pure eyes, we can see that. They are, for sure, they will go back home, back to Godhead in this very same age. And when in Mayapur, I saw one Mataji walking, limping, and blood oozing. What happened, Mataji? No, I fell down from scooter. She said, okay, Mataji, go to hospital. Yeah, okay. But all that pain is not shown on your face. You are running to get Lord Darshan. No, these are all benediction for me, because I can burn all my karma in this age, and quickly I can see Krishna face to face. What is the confidence that Mataji had? So that is what we should have. By this 10% of devotees, approximately, we can see such a confidence that they will see the Krishna within them. And then another 10%, if you see, they have no hope at all. They will simply come for prasad or something like that, they will go. They themselves are very confident that they will not make it. And 80% of us, the large community of us, are within this movement, and we don't know where we are and which direction we are going. Whether we are going towards that 10% or this 10%, that we have to introspect first. This is a beautiful class given by Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj. I'm talking about this. It's an amazing class. He is saying that we have to And how we can say from the 11% to the 89% where we are? Through Guru, Sadhu and Shastra and the devotee, we can understand where we are. And when we know where we are, whether we are in 39th percentage or 52nd percentage or the 11th percentage, then we have to introspect ourselves. Which direction I'm moving on? The last year I was here, this year, am I moving? 5 years before I knew 100 verses, now I hardly know 6-7 verses, means we are going towards that other 10%. Or previous year I did not know about Bhakti Samra Sandhu. Now I knew something about that. I could have more Bhakti Vriksha. I can reach. Yes, you are going to the first 10%. That we have to know that. And the next stage, from today onwards, from this, having this principle, how I can make my life better by moving further towards that, the first glorified 10%. This is how we have to introspect ourselves. We can introspect ourselves and move our bhakti by following the footsteps of the great Vaishnavas like Lord Shiva and his teachings. We can achieve our goal of getting the Krishna Prema, which is the ultimate. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here, Mataji. I'm sorry if I'm overboard.
Not at all, Prabhu. Very, very wonderful session and enlightening session, and very nice session in this new year from a great devotee like you, Prabhu. We are very fortunate and thank you so much. And if any devotees have any questions, you can ask. Yes, Subha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Prabhuji, wonderful class, Prabhuji, and guidance from you. I have two questions, Prabhuji. Like the first question is that when they Kashyapa and Diti were forced to do
union,
act in a way against scriptures, so it was the will of the Lord ultimately. So will there be any sin, Prabhuji, for them, for Diti and Kashyapa? Though Kashyapa was meditating on the Lord. So what kind of, like, will there be any karma? So how is that, Prabhuji?
Actually speaking, we have, because the Lord knows the present, past and future. This will be the Didi's desire. In that sense, it is Lord's desire. This is going to be her desire, and she is going to suffer for that. If we come to the end of this verse, when in the end of this chapter, when Hiranyaksha was killed, how Diti was suffering, the blood oozes out from her breast and she was crying like anything. That is the karma phala. So what she did and what is going to get is definitely the reactions are there for the karma, Mataji.
So Prabhuji, was it that ultimately it was her desire, Prabhuji, or the will of the Lord?
No, will of the Lord is there for sure. Without the Lord's will and sanction, nothing will happen. But they are all actually playing a role to give us the instruction. What we do on an inappropriate time, what will happen? Because unless otherwise somebody takes the, even see, Lord Shiva is a very elevated devotee, but what kind of a thankless job is living in crematorium? So is this his karma? No, they are taking up the role to give us the lesson. Even Diti is a pure devotee. That's why she takes up this service and teaches us what will happen to us if we do this one. So we can understand this one. Ultimately, everyone is a character in the Lord's drama, Lord's play.
Prabhuji, my second question is that, Prabhuji, like when it is good to introspect ourselves, like in bhakti, it is very much needed because like we know like how we were before and how we are now after coming to bhakti. So that is good, Prabhuji, but sometimes it makes us so puffed up. So when we assess ourselves, like oh, we have improved a lot, we have become better than before. So when we do that, so is it not wrong, Prabhuji, like always doing, assessing ourselves?
No, there is always scope for development. No, it is good, Mataji. If we are starving for a long time. And if we are getting 2 chapatis, we can enjoy these 2 chapatis when we know that we were starving. Similarly, we were doing a very abominable things, and see, what a fantastic family Prabhupada made. I came into this one, and now I'm relishing. This is not puffed up. This is an introspection, and we are giving self-assessment, and there is always scope for development. Okay, from here I can go further. I'm still nowhere. And then always there is scope for development. And once I will keep going. If in this way, we will never get puffed up. That introspection.
How about thinking that, Prabhuji, this thinking like in this lifetime itself, I will make it, so I'll go to the Lord's abode. So when we think like that, is it proud or anything? Is there anything wrong in that thinking, Prabhuji?
No, because that is that if we're doing it externally and our actions are not in line, then it is wrong. But if our actions are in line, and if we are we have inner urge for that, that is correct. But if we go further, then we will feel that is also not my goal. I'm completely leaving it to Krishna, whether I will go back or not. But until to reach that point, we can have that. But it should be genuine.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavatam. Hare Krishna.
Sindhu Mataji, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Like, I just wanted to ask you, like, you said, like, Prabhupada, by constantly praying to the Lord, he conquered his lust easily, Prabhuji. But we as aspiring devotees, how do we practically, conquer lust and other anarthas easily? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, again, we have to follow the Acharya's footsteps. We have to be always in a prayer mood, and never ever we should get puffed up that I achieved something. Nothing. If at all we achieved something, that the mercy of the devotees around and the Acharya's mercy, we have to give that, and we have to be in always prayer mood that I am, please help me to come out of this one. In this way, definitely we can conquer anything. But sometimes it may overtake our willpower. For sure, not sometimes. Many times it will conquer our willpower. Then we have to bounce back again. This is the fight. Once we completely conquered, then the rest of our existence here is just a matter of helping others. Then that is Krishna's desire. Otherwise, Krishna will say, okay, enough, please come back. Then we'll go. Until then, this fight will go on. But if Krishna did not lose hope on us, why should we lose hope on Krishna? Krishna is always there. He is as a Paramatma within, and he is guiding, sending so many devotees, so many scriptures, and he has never lost hope on us. So we should not lose hope on him also. We should fight on.
Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class and lot of intakes for the new year. Dandat Pranam Prabhuji. My question is, nowadays you get a lot of these Down syndrome people, Down syndrome, and also a lot of LGBT and all these type of people. These also could be the cause of the act of Diti, the way she behaved.
No, that is different, Mataji. These different actions are different, and this is completely atheistic mentality and materialistic nature. The way the education system, the political system works, that is the reason for this downfall, and that's how the Kali will act on. We must be very. That's why a devotee's role on this is we must be alert about this, and we must be absorbed in spirituality. So that will be an immunization that we will not get into this. We can be compassionate about this LGBT and all that. We don't have to care about it. We should not care about these kind of activities. We should, we can hate the sin, not the sinner.
No, Prabhuji, my question is because of their bodily features. Their body, is it because of that, because they are like half men, half women, Is it due to the sins or is it due to this
That
type
is
of
for sure.
activity?
That is karma phala, Mataji. That is for what were there, because what designs our next body? Who is the designer of our body? Who is the designer of even Hiranyakashipu's design? Even to some extent, who designed Narsinghdev's body? Anybody can answer? Who designed Narsinghdev's form?
Hiranyakashipu, Prabhuji.
Hiranyakashipu, he himself designed. So that is what. So a person, Vishnu, should come and kill me. That is for sure.
Yes.
Then how he come? He designed. Similarly, we only desire what we are going to get. The next desire, next body depends upon our desire and our karma. These are the two only factor decides. So if you are getting such body, we cannot blame anyone other than self.
But Prabhuji, nowadays there are a lot of Down syndrome children. Down syndrome. So no parent will want to have a Down syndrome child, no? Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So it's very sad when you look at their state in a different ways. That's why because this question was always bothering me. I just wanted to know why this type of, so many children are born nowadays.
What to say, Mataji? Now
It's
you
very
started
sad,
seeing this. Huh?
It's very sad to see them.
No, absolutely. We should be compassionate on them. How we can pray to the Lord, but what we are going to see, this is the beginning of Kali, just 5,300 years old. What you will see towards the middle or end of Kali Yuga, you will see everything. Even we started seeing, Mataji, just 50 years, I'm 58 years old. What I have seen 40 years is completely opposite and completely what is happening around, what is coming in the newspaper is not known to us before 30 or 40 years before. So this 30 or 40 years is nothing in a time scale. But what will happen? So this is the influence of Kali. And as a compassionate mother like you, it is only thing what we have in is simply pray to Krishna that please show them the way. They can see the Narada Maharshi's story, who is a pure devotee. You pray to them that they should get association of a pure devotee. So in this way, they can end up this kind of a body as soon as possible, and then get a better body. In this way, they can quickly achieve the Supreme. Our goal is only to be compassionate to all these kind of situations. At the same time, it should not bring up any negativity within us. We should be very careful. Compassionate and negativity, we should be very careful. We should not lose our hope also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if you have time, can we take two more questions? The devotees raise their hand.
No problem.
Yes. Janaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this is regarding that Mataji was saying, Mayapur, you gave an example of a Mataji.
Yeah.
Of, her leg got hurted. So my question is, Prabhuji, not physically, but when many times we get hurt by people's words, people many times hurt us. So how do we take it? We should take it as always as a benediction, and our karmas are getting burned by this. Do we think in that way? Recently, we went for a book distribution, Prabhuji. So there was an old man, he had come. He chastised us so much. He even said, I'll remove my chappal and I'll beat you, like that, he said. So at that time, we didn't felt anything. We were like, it is like, okay, it is we can take it as a purification. Okay. So then later when I started thinking about that, when you said now, so immediately that incident came into my mind. So do we think in that way, it is our benediction that our karmas are getting burnt in this lifetime itself? Not only this incident, in family also we get, if the other family members are not the devotee and they are getting all those bad comment and all. So how do we take that, Prabhuji?
Mataji, I'm coming to that particular instant that somebody did that. What was your role? What was your mistake or offense to them to go to that extent? Can I know that, Mataji?
No,
Or
Prabhuji, we were just standing. He had come there to the stall, Prabhuji, and he was just looking at this thing because we put stall in one particular place and we know about that person, Prabhuji. Okay, he is like that only. He talks too much and he always asks, "Aapko ye malum hai kya? Aapko Gita mein ye malum hai kya?" Like that he asks. So we were like answering his questions, Prabhuji. So this year also he had come and we were answering, and we were trying to, kind of, okay, from the stall we wanted to take him away. There was one devotee, he was like, let us talk karke, he was taking him away, and I don't know what happened to his, he was not mentally well or what
yeah,
happened, but he
I
said
doubt
that.
so, Mataji. Mentally will or any of your his past life or in his life, in this life itself, something might have haunted him from. See, for example, if we go to any temple, there are hundreds of brahmacharis who left family and came. If anyone, a father is mentally affected because of the charan come, then it is also his mental condition that looks ISKCON as very very bad institution because they don't know anything about that. So in this situation, if we are getting something back for which we are not at all reason, then we have to see that this is Lord's arrangement for our own purification and benediction. Srila Prabhupada once was traveling in flight from Cairo to in Africa somewhere. So one football match finished and the players were in the flight. They were partying with cigarette, and those days cigarettes were allowed, cigarette and liquor, and they were dancing. And one of the Prabhupads, I think it was Shrodakirti Prabhu, he was sitting there and he was really restless. One sadhu is sitting and they are not giving any respect for that. They were really quarreling like this, and he went and told the stewards that please ask them to stop. And they said, before you say, he told them that they are not stopping it, but please bear, like that. Then after 5 minutes, again, he himself stood up to say to something. Prabhupada said, why can't you all be calm? Why are you also becoming restless like them? It is their nature, they do this. When you show your character, if they are doing like this, you take it as your own karma bouncing back on you to suffer for something. You are not responsible for that. This is, if you are feeling pain, take it as a what do you call, it's a my own karma being burnt like that. Your own karma is bouncing back. Otherwise, why should we get suffer, which is not, you are not responsible for that. Like that, we have to see what is happening around. It is not only for the body, Mataji, mind also. In the beginning of your question said some people haunt us like this. It will keep coming. These are all our own. If any suffering to the body or mind comes without our knowledge, without our action, then this is purely a process of nullifying our accumulated karma.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. One more, Prabhuji, one more question regarding introspective, Prabhuji. For example, as we take, every new year we take a resolution. For example, now we are in Krishna consciousness, and but when we get a seva, for example, this year I got some seva, another year I'm getting some other seva. So I'm not doing that seva, and I'm doing this seva right now. So how do I introspect myself? Okay, I am not doing, how have I progressed or not? Because that seva, if I'm doing both the seva, that means I am progressing. Okay, by leaving that seva and doing this seva, so how do I take that, Prabhuji?
Nice question, Mataji. Actually, Mataji, we should attach only to Krishna. even not to the services in line with Krishna's services. You understand, Mataji? Even if I'm a good Kirtaniya, but I'm not getting harmonium or I'm not getting a chance to Kirtan, then I'm attached to Kirtan, not to please Krishna. So Krishna's desire is not for me, it is not that I have to play Kirtan today. His desire is to do some kitchen seva today. So we should not attach to even the service to the Lord or the devotees. We should keep ourselves relaxed to feel, because Krishna's potency to receive and enjoy our service is unlimited, and the service available in this world is unlimited, and the resources available in this world for our services is also unlimited. So why should we limit ourselves into this service, that service, this service? Let us keep ourselves free for Krishna, and whatever comes in our line. We may be a good preacher, we may be a pujari. There is a broom and there is a little bit of dust in the room. Let's start cleaning. And then somebody, no, you are pujari, they will grab it. Okay, let me see. There is some other book distribution. Let me go and help them. Let us make ourselves free and let us not attach to any service.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Chintamani Prabhuji, do you have any doubt?
Yes, Mataji. Prabhuji, one question I've been wondering. Is mercy, we said mercy is from the Lord, mercy is flowing. It's everywhere. It is for everyone to receive it. So my question is, why mercy cannot overpower desires, someone's desires? Right? If I'm compassionate about somebody and then I'm thinking about about his goodness, but he has some certain desires, he don't want to connect. Why can that mercy and compassionate can overpower his desires? That way I think the word will be so beautiful. So just wanted to have clarity.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. See, mercy is always abundance, Prabhu. There is no doubt about that. The receiving parts are with holes. What we are receiving, we are not ready to receive it. Okay, first thing. Second thing is, see, Krishna gives everything to us. He takes away everything from us. But in all our dealings, Krishna is not taking away one thing from us, that is our free will. Okay, so if everything, our desire is the one, if we want to go away from Krishna, is allowing, is sanctioning it. If our desire is to go near Krishna, he is much more happy. Our desire is the reason we came back here. And then our desire is the reason we continue to be here and exist. If this is the case, we have to have our intense desire to go back to him. Then he will be very, very happy. Much more than anyone, he will be very happy. So, if our desire is something like that, Krishna will not intervene. Did I answer your question, Prabhu? I am not sure.
So in the same way, if you are trying to preach and then trying to make somebody understand, if he's not understanding, we should not be forcing ourselves, right? To convince somebody. We should just give it.
Yeah, your action is completely in line with scriptures. You are trying to, even when Nityananda Prabhu was hit by Jagai Madhe, still they are saying, please at least chant one year. This is our duty. We should be compassionate on them. And if they are not receiving, their pot is completely opened up at the bottom. Nothing will stay there. There ends our duty. We have to keep going.
Yeah, got it, Prabhuji. And the second one, Prabhuji, you said devotees should be aware about this political, social, and then something you said.
We should be alert.
What are the three things you told, Prabhuji? Just wanted to make a note of it.
Yeah, politically we should be alert, socially sensitive, culturally accommodative, but spiritually observed.
Spiritually observed. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Very, very wonderful questionnaire now. And it's like gems throwing on us, and we are picking up the valuable gems in this session. We are very much blessed, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
For my own purification, Mataji. If anything helped, all that by the mercy of my Guru and the senior Vaishnavas from whom I heard is nothing of my, I'm simply verbating their words. Hare Krishna.
With your permission, we'll end the session, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Vancha kalpatubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva patitanam
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Ananta Gauta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु लावण्य माता जी
Thank you,
प्रभु
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Dandavat
Prabhu,
Pranam.
thank you very much. Very
With
nice
your
class.
permission, I'll end the session, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.